So you guys, I did a thing. Come closer so I can tell you. So I went live with my girl Jilly of the Curated Curvy right here on YouTube, and together we tackled the Blair Skirt by True Bias. So for today's video, I'm going to be bringing you my full review of the Blair Skirt. So if that is something that you might be interested in, then please keep on watching. Hey Stitchers, your girl Kris here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel on social, where it's totally cool to be obsessed with sewing. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing all of my thoughts on the Blair Skirt by True Bias. Now, a couple weeks ago, Jilly and I went live right here on the YouTube platform for the very first time to sew up the Blair Skirt by True Bias. Now, I have been well into the Great British Sewing Bee, and they are in their 10th season. Now, for the first episode of season 10, the sewists had to sew up a A-line skirt with tons of top stitching, and they only had 3.5 hours to do it. Now, you guys, I consider myself to be a fairly quick sewer, but definitely not that quick. I could not fathom how these sewists could put together an entire skirt with top stitching in 3.5 hours. And so I decided to test the theory along with Jilly here on YouTube by sewing up the Blair Skirt. Now, the Blair Skirt is a pencil skirt shaped skirt, but it does have a featured pocket and it does have the opportunity to do some top stitching. Needless to say, I failed. I failed miserably. I was not able to complete my skirt during the live. I had gotten most of the main part of the skirt made up, but I did not get an opportunity to attach my waistband or to go ahead and finish off my belt loops. And so in the days following our live session, I snagged a couple moments here and there and was able to finish up my skirt, and that is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. Now, I did share a video here on the channel about the preparations for the Black Sewing Bee, which is what we called our live session, and if you are interested, you can head on over to this video right here and check out all of the details leading up to that live, including like sizing and fitting adjustments and so on. And I did also do a tutorial for full tummy adjustment here on the channel, and so if you are like me and you have a little bit of a tummy, then you might want to go ahead and check out how you can perform that adjustment. I promise you it's not that difficult, and once you wrap your head around it, then you can do it with your eyes closed. Now, for the Blair Skirt, I did have two fabrics in mind: a black woolly tex fabric and this very large scale pink gingham fabric that I have had in my stash for almost a year. That one was a bottom weight fabric, but I really fell in love with the large scale gingham print, and obviously it was pink, and your girl never goes wrong with pink. At the end of my video, I asked for your guys' help, and as usual you came through, and most of the votes was to use the black woolly tex fabric, and I was very obedient and followed your advice. And so this is my finished Blair Skirt. So this is my finished Blair Skirt, and I can tell you guys up front that you were right. It was best for me to sew up this skirt in this solid fabric, and I know I'm going to get tons of wear from this skirt in my work wardrobe. Now, the True Bias Blair Skirt comes in two different size bands, a size 0 to 18, and there's a size, I think, 14 to 28. I'm not sure if I have that right. If I don't, I'll be sure to go ahead and drop it here on the screen so that if you are interested in this pattern, then you can see what the size range is. But I know that True Bias patterns are very size inclusive, and so I'm pretty sure that this goes up to at least a 60-inch hip. But again, I'm going to go ahead and verify. So I purchased the PDF of this pattern in the 0 to 18 size band, and I traced off a size 14 in this pattern to accommodate my waistline and my hips. Now, to my base pattern, as I indicated already, I did do a full tummy adjustment of a 1/2 inch just to add a little bit more room at the fullest part of my tummy. Now, when I was going through the hashtag over on Instagram, I noticed that in quite a few of the pictures, the buttons were sort of pulling and gaping at the tummy area, and so even though I had not toiled this pattern, I went ahead, bit the bullet, and did a 1/2 inch full tummy adjustment. And you guys, I am so glad that I did. Now, because I did the full tummy adjustment when I was actually constructing the skirt on the live, I went ahead and removed, I think, a 1/4 inch on both sides of my front skirt piece. I basted the seams together, realized it was going to be too big, and so I unpicked it and then just trimmed down my seam allowances then and there on the spot. Obviously, going forward, I'm going to have to go back into my paper pattern and make the adjustment so that when I make this Blair pattern again, and I am absolutely going to make this pattern again, then it would already have been adjusted. Now, the Blair skirt has 3 different lengths: a mini version, a midi version, and a maxi version. Now, I was toying with the idea of doing the maxi version because I thought it was super chic, but I knew it wouldn't get a lot of wear in my wardrobe, and so I knew then it would be between the mini and the midi length. Now, I felt like the mini length was a real mini. It was short, and your girl is already tall, or at least carries most of her length in her legs, and so I was pretty sure that the mini would be too short. And because you guys voted for this black fabric anyway, I figured I would want to wear it to work and thought that the midi length would be my best bet. Now, I did not make any length adjustments to this pattern because I figured even if it was a little bit shorter on me, the midi version would guarantee that it would still be work appropriate. Now, I am super stoked with how this pattern came together, and I'm really glad that I took the time to make those fit adjustments and also took the time to add the belt loops to my skirt. Now, if you had been watching the live, you would have heard me say that I was a little bit indecisive about the belt loops just because I knew it was going to eat into my time, and time was already of the essence. But at the end of the day, I wanted to have a garment that I would reach for, and I knew that without the belt it would have been less likely that I would pull for my skirt. I really like belts. I feel like they help to accentuate my waist, and so I much prefer to have my skirts with belt loops, and I'm very glad that I took the chance to do these belt loops. Now, I have recorded some footage about how I installed my belt loops. I absolutely hate pattern instructions that have you turn under your belt loop, press it into place using the seam allowance. Usually it's like a 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch or so on, and then top stitch them down to your garment. That does not float my boat, you guys, at all. And so I have done some footage on how I go about attaching belt loops. If it has already made its way onto this channel, then I'll be sure to go ahead and drop the link in here. If it's not yet on the channel, then keep a lookout for it. It's coming. So if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, then now is the ideal time for you to hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so you never miss any of my upcoming videos, including that very helpful tutorial on how to attach your belt loops. Now, overall, I would rate this skirt like a 9.5 out of 10. I feel like there's very little room for improvement with this skirt. I love that it is in solid black. I know, but really, you guys, it really was a fantastic choice. I feel like I took my time constructing it. It is very neatly sewn. All the details are well done. My belt loops are sturdy. I've put my little tag inside. Listen, I just love this skirt, and I don't even know why I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10, because I truly believe that it probably does deserve a 10 out of 10, but just leaving a little bit of room for improvement if there is any. I'm going to rank it 9.5 out of 10, and I would absolutely recommend you giving it a go. Now, I am not affiliated with True Bias in any way, but this skirt is golden. Like, this is a must-have in every wardrobe, and I feel like I'm going to be making this pattern over and over and over again. This is likely to become a tried and true pattern for me. Now, you guys, it does have a button placket down the center front, and can I tell you, when I was sewing the buttonholes on my skirt, I sewed all of my buttonholes perfectly, and that almost never happens. It must have been a sign from God Almighty himself that this skirt is a go, because I had no issues at all sewing my buttonholes. I also had these buttons in my stash which I had left over from a Minerva kit. You have heard me talking about Minerva kits here before. They are good bang for your buck because it inevitably means that you have extra products left over for other makes, and in my case I had enough of these buttons left over to do the buttons on my skirt. Now really and truly, I think this skirt calls for 2 additional buttons, but because of where I like my skirt to fall on my legs, and because I am in favor of flashing just a little bit of leg, I was happy with the placement of this very last button. I did not have any more of this size of the button to carry down the placket, but it wasn't really a big deal for me. Now these pockets also have buttons, and I was lucky enough to have this very same type of button in a smaller size in my stash, again thanks to Minerva, and I used the smaller buttons on the pockets. Now I really love this pocket detail, and dare I say this was the most time consuming part of this make, but I really feel like it looks so neat and so professional. And if I open my button right here, then I can show you guys just how deep my pockets are. I feel like these are perfection. Now these are like a patch pocket in that they are sewn on to the front of the skirt instead of like inseam pockets which go into your seam line, but I really like how these pockets look on this skirt. So as I said, I would rate this skirt 9.5 out of 10 just to leave a little bit of room for error. Now that is all I needed to share with you about my True Bias Blair skirt. If you have any questions on the skirt, the fit, the fitting adjustments, the construction, anything at all, be sure to drop me a comment down below. Also leave me a comment letting me know whether you own this pattern, whether you have made this pattern, and what your thoughts are on the Blair skirt. Now if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and if you have made it this far in my video and you are not yet a subscriber, then we need to talk. So come closer. It's about time that you go ahead and join my YouTube sewing family. To do this, all you need to do is hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so you never miss any of your girls' upcoming video. I strive to share videos here at least twice a week, on a Sunday and on a Thursday, but there are times when I have to venture outside of that in the event that I have lots of information to share with you guys, as has been the case for the month of July. So go ahead again and hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, and come be a part of Unsocial's sewing family. Now that is all I needed to share with you guys today. So until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and absolutely keep sewing. Peace.